Hi guys, welcome back to Aaron and Maria. Is that a good way to start it?
No. Welcome back to Aaron and Maria.
Welcome back to our channel.
Hey everyone, welcome back. It's been so long since we filmed. We're so sorry. Life has just gotten hectic out of nowhere.
Felt like forever.
Family and work and school and all the things that make life what it is really just kicked it up a notch, as it always does. So
sorry for our inconsistency, but also, I mean, after we got hacked, it's been hard to try to reach back out to you guys, and it's just been hard to reach everybody, and as well as like what she said is life. But we're here now, and we've been so excited every day. We've been talking about, hey babe, we need to film so we can put out all these contents and share this with everybody else. So we're glad to finally just take the time to do this.
Thank you for everyone that's said, I'm so sorry this happened, and just sending well wishes and just positive words and vibes. Like, it means literally the most, because people don't understand the world, the universe is based on vibes. Mm-hmm. So thank you for sending the good ones. And also in the comments there's always questions, so we actually wanted to address some of the questions like whenever we can in whatever video we film, just to make it interactive. So if you do have a question, you might as well ask it, because it will get answered. So a question that's been asked a lot is Aaron mixed? Is he Filipino and black? And I'm going to let him answer because he is the subject matter expert on himself.
We answered this in other videos so many times, but I know people are watching and people keep insisting still, like, is he sure he should take the Ancestry DNA test? And you know what? I do want to take one, and I think we should both take one and make that into a video. I think that would be pretty cool. But also, just to debunk the whole thing, I'm Filipino, but the catch is, it's really rare to find a 100% Filipino, because Filipinos, real indigenous Filipinos, are black. Real Filipinos,
darker.
Real Filipinos are black. I mean, you guys can go on Google right now and search up indigenous Filipinos, or they just look black. I mean, you can't even tell the difference between a picture in Africa and a picture in the Philippines, in native villages in the Philippines.
Or India.
Yeah.
Or Australia. Or any other country on this planet. But that's another story.
But yeah, you guys can do some research on what she just said. But there's almost all those countries that she just mentioned their natives all look dark skinned. They are all dark skinned. But so the native Filipinos are really dark skinned until later on we got mixed up when the wars and stuff happened. Spanish came, Europe came, and then Japanese came. Chinese Filipinos are really heavily Spanish influenced, because we were enslaved for over 300 years, and then afterwards, and the Japanese came. Like, it's just a bunch of stuff. So that's how a lot of Filipinos are mixed. So to everyone that keeps asking me if I'm mixed, I mean, I guess,
like, yes and no.
Yeah, so yes and no.
I mean, ancestrally, absolutely, we all are. There is no purebred human on this planet. But as far as his
my mom, my dad, they're Filipinos.
They're all nice and yellow like him. So there's that.
That's that question.
One question we saw was, how long have we been together? It's actually going to be a year, May 3rd. That's when we officially started dating. So there's that. And this one was actually an interesting one. Someone asked, was I a Taurus? As far as astrology, no, I'm an Aquarius. I was born on Valentine's Day,
which is coming up this coming weekend. It's her birthday.
I'm going to be 28. So those are the main questions that we saw. And so now we're going to get into the part 2 of how we met.
Well,
Where we left off last.
Yeah, where we left off last one before the video died.
The camera died.
Or before the camera died.
The video.
See? Filipino fob right there. But why you got the face?
Just keep talking.
Alright, so the camera died was when I was just looking at all Maria's stuff. I was looking at her video, her like Instagram, her social media stuff, you know. I mean, I guess, you know what, on one of the videos, the How We Met one, someone was just saying that, you know what, this someone twerking doesn't determine if they're a good or bad person. Exactly. But I didn't mean that I'm going on there to see. I didn't mean if I found a video of her twerking, didn't mean she was bad.
A little bit of twerk.
I was just saying, I went on her social media to try to see what she was about. I mean, it was nice to see that she was more of a homebody, I guess is what I was saying. Homebody, all she was about her career and her daughter. And obviously I was on there, she got a man in her life, you know, and she's still with her ex. And I didn't see none of that. So I like what I saw. And as a man, when you find a woman that looks like a good woman and there's nobody in her life, in my mind, I know there's hella people in her DMs or people that just would love to get with her. So I know that the roster is probably long. So I know that I need to sweep this girl off her feet. And that's when I did exactly that. Or I was hoping to do exactly that. So from then on out, I reached out to her. And, well, we were already talking on the phone, as we said in the last video. And I was just like, you know what? Hey, since you're on vacation, she was on vacation for her work because she was getting ready to transfer to a new workplace. And since she was on the transitional leave, you know, I was just like, hey, you know, you trying to do something? Like, you want to maybe go on a cruise? At first, I tried asking her if she wanted to go to a cruise. And she said she's been on a lot of cruises with her parents, actually. I've never been on a cruise. Matter of fact, I don't even remember if I've ever even taken a vacation. Like, yeah, I don't think I've ever even taken a vacation. It's not my thing, but I needed to take her and me and get us to link up. And because we were living in 2 different states. I was in New York and she was in Virginia. So I just needed us to get together and see what this was about. Because by this point, the connection was so crazy, talking on the phone every day. So I asked her to go on a cruise. She really wasn't about it because she's already been to a few different cruises and she was just really apprehensive. So
I'm going to give you my point of view. Okay. Yeah, we get it. His parents were my neighbors. That does not mean you're not a serial killer. So I was like, okay, we have a good connection. Like, you know, he has children. So for me, that's something that I look for. A man who has children is completely different from a man that doesn't. And you guys can debate it in the comments all you want, but that is my preference for me. If Aaron and I, for some reason, didn't work out, even though we are going to get married, so ladies. But even if we were to break up, I would still date someone who has children, because you really don't understand the level of responsibility and the level of dedication until you have a child. Or even if you're a dedicated step-parent, you understand that. Or if you adopted, or whatever the case may be. There's so many different anomalies in the world, but if you have a child that you're responsible for and you love them, you would die for them, that is the type of person that I want. So, you know, he had that attribute. He was smart, caring, funny, crafty, he's witty. He always finds a way to make it out of these weird situations he gets himself in. So I was just like what? Listen, that's another video. So I was just like, this guy's great, but that doesn't mean he's not a serial killer. So yeah, he said he wanted to go on a cruise, and I was like, do I want to be stuck on a boat? And I'm in the Navy, so I'm like, no, I don't want to go on a boat. But I'm like, do I want to be stuck on a boat with this man in a cabin for like a week? There's nowhere to escape. Am I going to jump ship? No. So I was like, no.
That's why?
I mean, you know, I've been on cruises with my family. We have the cruise family pictures.
Right.
But I was just like, no, that's not good. So he was like, what do we say? Mexico, Cancun.
Yeah, I was throwing stuff out there. I was just like, hey, what do you think about Cancun?
I was like, passports. Are our passports renewed? He was like, no. I was like, so there's that. We're not leaving the country.
At that point, I just kept shooting my shot. I already shot my shot for the cruise, and she said no.
He was giving me a list.
Yeah, I was just like, okay, let's do Cancun. You know, so it's not easy to shoot your shot. So when I was already saying those things, I'm like, man, maybe I should just take this L and just move on. And I was like, no, I gotta get with this girl. I want to see her. So I said, let's do Cancun. She said our passports were expired. I really was just like, all right, well, like, I'm about to expedite these passports. I'm willing to, like, pay for your passport and pay for my passport. And she was saying that the Navy at the time had Cancun as blacklisted. So I was just like, all right, well, then never mind that.
How did we get to Miami?
Oh, no. Oh, that's why. Because at this time, I'm just so vacation oriented. So I was like, well, where is a good vacation spot? Because I wanted to go out of the country or something like that, but you know, the passport thing was the issue. So then I'm not, all right, now I'm thinking about the U.S. Where is there that's a dope place to go? I don't know, vacation and around summertime. You know, just like, I mean, what's a better place to be than Miami? So I looked up Miami, and before I asked her about it, I had already looked up what we can do in Miami.
And that's where we're gonna stay.
Yeah, that's her interest. Like, I knew what, you know, I said we talked all the time already, so I knew what she was interested in. So I knew the location I was picking out had her interest in there already. And when I found Miami, I finally was just like, all right, well, what about Miami? And at first, actually, she said no. So I was feeling really defeated in that moment, but not only did she say no, she said she's already been with her family to Miami.
Me and my family have traveled a lot together.
At that time, I was like, man, what can I do? It's hard to impress this girl. Like, it's really hard for me to find a woman that I can't impress. For real. Like,
we had a whole bunch of easy ones, that's why. But anyway, so
why do you throw so much shade? She's so shady.
And he's shady too. So, first time he asked, I said, no, you know, I already been there. And then, you know, I had to consult with my triad. So, you know, I talked to my friends. I only have like 3. So I was like, okay, my best friend is a male. His name's Willie. And then my second friend, her name is Amber. And then my third friend is Asia. So at different times, I was like, all right, guys, here's what it is. This guy, Aaron, he's like really adamant about me going somewhere with him. What should I do? Like, should I go on this little vacation thing that he set up? And it was a unanimous yes. It was all, Maria, you don't ever do anything, and all you've been doing is working. You're so boring. You need to get out. You need to let go. You need to do this. You need to do that. And I was just like, well, these are all true things. I am quite boring. I sit in my house, and I chill. I watch CNN. I clean. I do laundry, and then I go to work on the Monday. So that's what I was used to doing. And I cook. I love cooking. So that was my universe. So I was like, that's true. And I do work really hard. So I was like, you know, maybe it is time that I just, you know, let the weave fly a little bit. So I was like, I'm going to do it. So I told him yes. Let's do it. So as soon as I said yes, he sent me the Airbnb. He was like, hey, like, this is where we're going to stay at. Like, you know, this is the date that we need to, or that we are going to leave. And we're going to meet in Miami. And at first it was like, you know, should I come to Virginia first and meet you there and then we fly together? And then we both decided that it would be like cuter if we just met in Miami. Yeah. So it was like, okay, so we got all the little formalities and things together.
Let me say, the formalities was a big deal.
It was a big deal.
You guys just heard how it took her friends, her 3 best friends, to push her, which, by the way, I just found out about a couple seconds ago. I did not know that she consulted that with her friends, but it's no big surprise. Girls have group texts and all that. But Maria did say she was gonna go. Finally, we asked her again. I asked her again later on. I'm like, because I kept bringing it up in text messages. So I was just like, all right, you keep saying like you want to link up, you miss me. She kept saying she missed me. We kept saying we missed each other, even though we've never really formally seen each other than when the very first time we seen each other when we were like, when I was 18.
Apparently he saw me outside of my house.
Oh, well, yeah, we definitely seen each other outside our houses, but never really formally talked.
But he never came up to me because he was scared, but it's okay.
I was not scared, but...
intimidation, it happens to the best of us.
That's not what happened, but... But anyways, finally her friends get her to say that for her to go, and in my text messages with her, I keep bringing up about this, vacation I'm trying to go on whenever we were able to. Just like, hey, what's up with this vacation you trying to go? Finally, one time I brought it up and she was just like, sure, let's do it. And I was just shook that she said that. I think by the time that came around, I didn't think that we were ever going to link up. I didn't think she was ever going to say yes. I was even prepared to just, when she said no, I was like, all right, whatever. I'm just going to go come see you in Virginia. But by the time I would have made it to Virginia, she would have left to go to her new workstation in California. So we still wouldn't have seen each other. So by the time she said Miami, she was cool with it. I was ecstatic, but I didn't expect for you to actually ever say yes, because it's just the type of person that she is. She's just so apprehensive. I know all these other women out here, it's like, oh, let's get flued out. I want to get flued out. That is not her. It's such a woman that is so hard to impress, but it also impressed me. It also impressed me that you were not easily impressed. But finally, she was cool with Miami. The next problem I had was that all the men she's been with before, either she didn't know how to let them be a man, or she said that they were never really men in the first place because they didn't know how to plan. They didn't know how to plan for things, and it's always been a fail when they try to plan for stuff. So she wanted to know all the details of the trips before she was going to go on it, which, that makes sense, but I was just like, I had everything planned out. I was like, I got everything planned out. She wanted me to reveal it to her, but that was going to ruin all the plans. But by the time she said yes to Miami, I had the full itinerary, planned out what we were going to do on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I had, what we were going to do for lunch, what we were going to do after lunch, what we were going to do for dinner, the activities in between. I packed our schedules. I have it on my Apple Calendar, actually. So I was not trying to tell her, but she was having the hardest time trying to just go to Miami blindly without knowing what she was getting herself into.
I wish y'all could have knew my ex-husband, because then it would all make sense. I was his mother. And I know a lot of people can relate to that, whether it be your husband, wife, ex-husband, ex-wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, ex, whatever, current. It's a mess. And the personality that I have is quite strong. So it's hard for some people to stand up to that. So in the previous relationships, some guys would rather just be like, you know what, you got it. I'm going to let you worry about it. I'm just going to sit back. So that's really the gist of what I've
Which we conflict on. We conflict on because I'm the type that, hey, if I say I'm going to take you on a date, the only thing you got to worry about is what you're going to wear, how you want to look that night. I got the rest.
And my parents taught me, if you want something done right, do it yourself.
So when I pull up to a spot, if I tell you, hey, I'm going to pick you up at 6, I know how long it's going to take for us to get to her house, to wherever spot we're going to, and I'm going to have reservations ready. So that's how we were conflicting.
I have to say, he's good with what he does. He's a planner like me, in a way. So there hasn't been any hitches with him. So I'm definitely grateful that I'm able to sit back the first time in my life and just not do anything. Like literally biggest sigh of relief.
So I sent her
ever.
the matter of fact, as soon as she said yes to going to Miami, I sent her I was like, all right, cool. Like, I sent her the links and I sent her to her email as well of the Airbnb I wanted us to stay at. I already had one picked out, and it was this nice, beautiful Airbnb, and everything was just all white.
Can we insert pictures?
Yeah, we're gonna insert the pictures.
We'll insert some pictures.
Yeah, everything was all white, and it had the most important thing to me that I was trying to look for was a view of the beach from where we were at. It was important for me that we had our own beach access prior to leading up to seeing each other. Me and Maria was just like, I can't believe this is really happening. You know, we were talking on the phone all the time.
That's all we said.
Yeah, we were really
I can't believe this.
Yeah, we were literally like counting down to D-Day, and we were finally. I remember Maria kept saying, "Are we crazy? Like, are we crazy for doing this?" And I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I've never done this either. That's part of the point. I'm trying to act all smooth and suave, like I got the whole act down together, but the way we were dating was not a normal like dating. Like, it wasn't like.
It was weird because it wasn't like exactly online dating.
Yeah.
Because we had mutual friends and we had met previously.
Mm-hmm.
We just obviously were in two different places at the time.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, I don't know, it was weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was really weird. And then I'm neighbors with his parents. I see them daily. Like, I'm like, oh, hey. Like, I didn't know who they were. So it's like.
It was just crazy. But
all over the place.
We were just so, amazed. If you guys have watched part 1, you would understand where we were coming from. So it's just insane at this point. And it finally started getting realer and realer when we had bought our tickets and everything. We had the Airbnb booked out, so that when the day kept getting closer and closer, at this point we were so, I was so excited, but I was also so anxious. I was so nervous. I had all the emotions going, and then by this point, Maria had already told me that she loved me, and I wanted to tell her so bad that I loved her, but I didn't want to do it over the phone. So, but we already both knew, without even saying it, and our emotions just going crazy. I remember that.
You know, you better get off the phone with somebody you've been talking to for a while, and you're just like, well.
I was like, I like you.
Have a good night. And you'd be like, you have a good night too. And then you're like, I want to say something else. I want to say something more. We were there. And if I feel it, I'm going to say it. Everybody knows that I am a firecracker of the mouth. So, I told him, I love you. And I could tell that he was kind of taken aback. I guess he didn't expect me to say it. But I was like, yes, I love you as a person. We're not in love yet, but I do love you. And, he wasn't quite ready to say it. I guess he had some grand
I just wanted to tell her in person. That's it. I wanted to be able to tell her in person. It's just different, that's it. I just wanted to be able to tell her in person that, hey, I'm in love with you.
In love?
Yes, in love.
We were just talking about love, though.
But to me, once I profess that I love you, there's not really a going back. That's it. So before I can even tell you that I love you, I wanted to be in person, say I'm in love with you. Before I can't even say I love you yet, because I don't want to take away from the moment when I get to tell you that I was in love with you. So.
That's the sweetest.
So the day when it finally came through.
Get you an Aaron. Not this one, but another one.
When it finally came to the day of, obviously the nurse is going crazy and everything, it was super hectic for me. It was hectic for her too, but all she had to do was.
You left out LaGuardia.
Huh?
Or JFK.
I left out of JFK, I think.
Either way.
I don't know, but what were you just gonna say?
JFK was way more stressful than flying out of Norfolk.
She just flew out of Norfolk, which is like 5 minutes down the street, if that, from her.
Literally 5 minutes away from my house.
Yeah, and all you had to do was get in the car and that's it, drive there, drop your car off at long-term airport, maybe even take an Uber. Who knows? Like, it's easy. But at the time, I was living in Brooklyn before, but this time I moved to New Jersey, like deep in New Jersey, not just like New Jersey right beside New York. I had moved like by Princeton, New Jersey, Newark area, and before I had moved there, I had already bought my ticket for to fly out of JFK. So for me, it was such a long journey. But I'm not even gonna go into that because it's gonna take forever. But just know, people here that's been in New York or New Jersey, New York, you guys know how hectic that whole thing was. But what ended up happening eventually was I finally got on a plane. Me and her was talking about it the whole time, and eventually we got off the phone. I was like, all right, see you later, babe. And I was so nervous that on the plane, before I got on the plane, I was already drinking at the bar. And then I got on the plane, and I was drinking on the plane. And I know the old man that was beside me, I know people, the flight attendant, the old man was looking beside me like, what the hell is this young man going through? Because I was throwing them little airplane shots back, like, yeah, I was just nervous, man. It's just like, I knew, look, by this time, I know it's gonna sound so crazy, because, like, look, we thought we were crazy this time, but I felt like, even without telling her, I felt like I was even crazier, because I still haven't seen you yet, like, formally. And I knew I wanted to spend the rest of my life with you.
Maybe.
So I had already been saving for an engagement ring for her, and
you did.
I was just, I thought it was crazy, so I was just so nervous. I'm like, damn, I'm about to meet the woman of my dreams, the woman I've been praying for. I just need everything to go right. So in my head, I'm just like, damn, like, what if we got this crazy chemistry on the phone and we see each other and she doesn't like me, or the chemistry ain't there in person, so just running snares in my head. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna drink until I get there. So I just drank in, and
Lordy.
And that was it for me. And yes, this is your side.
Well, for me, it was the same thing. For me, I am the type of person that is going through every possible scenario in their head. I'm like, what if he's like crazy AF and he like tries to kidnap me? Like, what if this is a catfish situation, even though there was no way it could be? But I was just like, what if? And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to do what a sailor does best. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm not. I was just like, I'm going to get a couple drinks in my system, mellow out, listen to some Janae Aoki, Aiko, however you want to pronounce her name, and I'm just going to vibe out, and I'm going to let the universe do what it does and hope for the best. That's all you can do. So that's what I did. And I think I flew to North Carolina and then flew to Miami. I know it wasn't a one-way trip.
Yeah, you had to stop somewhere.
Yeah, I feel like it was like Charlotte. Why would I fly to Texas?
Oh, Charlotte. It was Charlotte.
Miami?
It was Charlotte.
All right, so it was Charlotte.
It was Charlotte.
Oh, baby, he's tired. It's been a long day for him. But I flew to Charlotte and then flew to Miami. So, all right, we both have landed in Miami. We're landed. We text each other, hey, I'm here. I'm about to go to baggage claim, blah, blah, blah. I think he arrived first.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm going to get my bag.
Not you, planner over here. We both planned our flights to be around the same time. So we almost landed simultaneously at the same exact time. It was actually the only difference was that when a plane I'm sure you guys have flown before, you know, whenever a plane could finally dock, it was around a busy time. I mean, Miami's busy all the time, but the time we went, I mean, it was a peak of summertime, so it was busy. So the planes was trying to get in there. My plane just happened to get in first. Actually, we were texting, you know, I'm just like, I'm here. She was like, I'm here too. And we were both just in the plane, and we both flew United. And I looked out my window, and her plane was right there beside mine. So I'm like, you know what? I needed a shot because, I mean, guys, you gotta think, this has been a process for us. So by the time we're finally there, I'm meeting the love of my life, and oh my God, she said we're both in the same place finally. And then, oh my God, she said the plane right beside me. Like, I don't know, she's somewhere in there. And we finally, I just happened to get in there first. By the time she got there, she was on the opposite side of the terminal. So we were talking on the phone trying to find each other. And it was a long walk, but finally found each other. And she was scared. You were scared.
Of course.
I was walking.
Meeting a man in this
I was walking. I was
place.
on the phone, and we were trying to find each other. She was just like, "I see you."
No, I was like, "Is that you?" Like, I think I see you. And then he's like, "Ooh, what was you were?" You know, a man. He's looking. I don't know where he was looking.
Oh,
and
man.
then so like literally, I'm like, I would say 10 to 12 feet away from him, and I was like, I think it's you. Like, I hang up, and I mean, what do you do when you, like, am I gonna run into his arms and like make this a movie scene? No. So
and we
I'm
made
just
so
like,
much scenarios.
I like walked up to him, but
No,
I'm just like,
she did not walk up to me. She
I
didn't walk up to
stiffened
me.
up. I was just like,
was stiff, like she saw a ghost. Mind you, the funniest thing is we made so much scenarios, like on the phone, you know, being all swab. I'm like, yeah,
like,
babe.
we're gonna make
when
out.
I see you, I'm gonna run up to you. We gonna make out. We gonna not gonna say the rest of the stuff. But
nasty. We did. We did.
We did. We sang a bunch of stuff on the phone, but
It's craziness.
But we made up all this movie scenarios. Like, yo, there gotta be a movie in here, you know? Like, none of that happened. None of it. She was on the phone, just stiff. Like, her shoulders was up, and she was just like, I think I see you. And I was looking around, and I was like, where? I don't see you. I'm like, where are you? And she wasn't even talking anymore. She was just done. And she was just across, like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, I'm on this side of the airport, and she's like parallel to me. Like, she's parallel across when I see her. And she was just, you looked like you saw a ghost. Like, you would just stop talking, and you're just frozen, and you're just...
I was so nervous. Like, words can't even...
So I came up to her, and I'm looking for, like, the movie type of kiss and everything. But I come up to her, I'm like, hey... It felt weird because at this point we still haven't even like kissed each other, but in my mind I'm just like, man, should I leave it alone? But I was like, no, like, no way, I ain't come this far not to get a kiss right now. So I did lean in and gave her a kiss, but I wanted it to be like a really nice romantic kiss, but she was still frozen, like she was just scared.
It wasn't for me. I'm like, no, like this is my first time laying eyes on you after you said you don't watch me from your doorstep looking at me. You done did all this extra, like, no, we're not about to sit here and make out.
No,
even though I said on the phone, I was like, it's gonna be this, it's gonna be that.
She was barely moving.
Yeah, I barely moved my lips. I sure
barely
didn't.
moved.
I
It was like a peck. And then I was just like, you know what?
That is customary. You were getting even more than a normal person would have gotten. Needless to say, I was not about to make out with this man who was a stranger at the time in the middle of the airport. Number one, that's just not my personality. I'm very reserved. I do PDA, but we on like stranger danger type level right here.
So we finally get...
We got our bag.
No, but the thing is, before we get our bags, she was frozen, so I had to get her unstuck. It was
How
like
you get me
freeze
unstuck?
How I got you unstuck? I had to grab your hands. I gave you a peck, and you were just like... Marie makes this little noises. Like, that's how she communicates sometimes. She just made like this... She just makes these cute noises. And finally, I grabbed her hand. I was like, all right, let's go get our bags. grabbed her hands, and even holding hands is weird because it's like, you know, like when someone doesn't want to commit all the way to holding hands, so it just feels weird. Like, so she wasn't all the way committed to it, but you know, eventually, obviously, like the shock value kind of went away, so we were able to be more comfortable holding hands with each other, and we were just so happy to be there. I'm just like, I can't believe we're here. We're really here, and we got our bags, and
that's how we met.
That's how we finally met.
It was a long time in the making. We don't want to make this video 10 million years long.
It's already long enough as is.
We could talk about the whole Miami trip. That's a separate video in itself. But we had such an amazing time. Like, I had never been wined and dined to that extent by anybody. He arranged for us to take a helicopter ride. I'm deathly afraid of heights. Somehow he convinced me to get on this helicopter, and it was literally the most beautiful thing I've seen in my life. Well, besides my daughter, she's the most beautiful thing I've seen. And just the care and the time that he took into planning where he wanted to take me really showed how much care he had for me and how much effort he put into it. Mind you, he's going to NYU, studying law, and planning all these things from New York. And shoot, like, I could say some things about the type of effort my ex-husband put into our relationship, but clearly you see what it was, next to nothing, because we got divorced. So it was just like, wow, this man who's known me for this X amount of time is putting all this effort into this. Like, that's wild. But you know, when it's right, it's right.
I'm telling you guys, I knew, like, I wanted to be with Marie for the rest of my life. So, like, I needed to sweep her off her feet. And I knew she had other suitors. Like, I knew that. And nothing against her. She was a single woman. She was a beautiful single woman. So, I knew what it was. So, I wanted to sweep her off her feet. I wanted everything to be right. Because, I don't know, it's just like, you know, like the woman that I prayed for, the woman that I wanted to be with, I felt like I found her, and I wanted to show them I just wanted everything to be right. But if you guys do want to see, you know, we don't want to go on talking about this forever, but if you guys do want to see like a snap, like the story of the Instagram stories of how it was when we were in Miami, it's actually on my Instagram, Aaron_Sean H, and it's on my story highlights, and it's called Vacation. So it's there.
It was beautiful. It was so beautiful. And one of the cutest things that he was doing was he would not videotape, Lord, I'm so old. He would vlog what we were doing. And then while I was napping, because I nap a lot, while I was napping or while I was sleeping, he would edit what footage that he got and make it into a video so that I wouldn't forget the trip. And so, like, you know, obviously we have those videos, and he posted one on our channel, so if you want to check it out, like, it's just the cutest thing ever. I posted it on my Instagram while I was in Miami, and all of my girlfriends were like, what the F? Like, this guy is so perfect. Like, where did you find him? Blah, blah, blah. And I was just like...
At this point, I was calling Marie my queen. So I wanted it to be known that she was my queen. So the whole trip literally revolved around that. Like, you know, the place we stayed at was just as beautiful as can be. Like, we still want to come back to that place one day, but the place we were at was super gorgeous, and I mean, our breath was just taken away when we saw it, and then everything I planned after that, I wanted for her to feel like a queen. So the place we stayed at, the places that we were eating at, the trips that we were at, I brought her to a palace, a Vizcaya museum, which was a palace, and then the helicopter ride, everything, the boat rides, I mean, everything. that I did. That's my whole thing. I'm like, I want this woman to feel like a queen. I think every woman should feel like that, but this is my woman. I want her to feel like she's a queen because I think you deserved it, and I just wanted that to come across, and it's been my goal ever since. Not just a little vacation, but it's been my goal ever since to always make you feel like you're a queen every day, from then to the rest of our lives. So it's been my goal, and I hope that shows.
Well, he's been successful thus far, and it was a beautiful first date. I mean, he said, I want to make sure that nobody will be able to top this. If we don't stay together, nobody's ever going to... I'm like, yes, nobody will ever come close to topping this as a first date, a trip to Miami. Beautiful. So...
That's how we met.
That's how we met. So, thank you guys for watching. We love sharing our stories, so if there's any little tidbits or anything at all you want to know about our relationship, not at all, because, obviously some things will stay sacred, but if you have a question about a certain something, just let us know. Like, we'll answer it in the next video. It's not a big deal. It's not a big secret, so...
We love you guys. Thank you guys for staying this long and watching this video, because I know this is going to be one of our longest videos, but you guys have been asking for it, so... Here it is. Stay tuned for our next video, and it's going to be the story of all of our tattoos. You got
I
more
don't
than that.
have many.
You got more than that. Show up the other one.
I have... Where's it?
You don't even know where it's at? She got more than that. She got one right here. Oh, right there. And then you got one in stomach. So, yeah. Next video.
They have like 5 tattoos.
Next video, we going to show our tat. Oh, not trying to show.